the only Palestinian American serving in Congress, Mr. Chair, and my perspective is needed here now more than ever. The idea that criticizing the government of Israel is anti-Semitic sets a very dangerous precedent, and it's being used to silence diverse voices.
Representative Tlaib has repeatedly made atrocious statements against our ally Israel and in support of Hamas, a terrorist group responsible for the largest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust.
What I am saying is common sense. You're a visitor. You're not even an American. You're a foreign national. You're here because we gave you a visa to be here temporarily, and now you're out there defending and supporting Hamas, a terrorist organization. You need to go.
Did you hear that? I'm the only Palestinian American in Congress. Okay, Rashida, we hear you, but does that excuse repeating controversial talking points in the House? Honestly, this constant reliance on the victim narrative is getting old. It often shows up right when people are being challenged on their own statements. Today, we're looking at a moment where the tone shifts. Mike Lawler steps in with a sharp focus on accountability, and Marco Rubio voices what many people think but don't usually say out loud. If you're frustrated watching officials take strong positions that spark division, this is a clip you'll want to see. Let's get into the full footage and break down what happened on the House floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In 1893, Catherine Lee Bates wrote America the Beautiful. In it, she wrote, "God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea." And as the Bible says in Psalm 72:8, he shall have dominion from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. That is aspirational. Chanting from the river to the sea is not. Chanting from the river to the sea is calling for the eradication of Israel. I would hardly define that as aspirational. My colleague, Representative Rashida Tlaib, has parroted the talking points and the message of Hamas, a terrorist organization whose sworn mission is the destruction of Israel and the eradication of the Jewish people. Israel is our strongest ally in the Middle East, a beacon of hope, peace, and liberty in the region. It is the only multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious democracy. It is not an apartheid state. The oppressor of the Palestinian people is Hamas and the Palestinian Authority. So if you want Palestinians to be free, reject Hamas. Reject the Palestinian Authority. Demand Hamas surrender. Calling for a ceasefire that they won't abide to is outrageous. They need to immediately surrender and return the hostages to their families. My colleague repeated a vile and disgusting lie that Israel bombed a hospital, knowing full well that was factually inaccurate, knowing full well that this administration, the Biden administration, advised her it was inaccurate, gave her a private briefing, and still she continued to repeat this vile, disgusting lie. Why? It was intended to undermine. It was intended to turn the world against Israel. Why? Because when she chants from the river to the sea, she believes it. She believes Israel should be eradicated. Because otherwise you would never, ever repeat that vile statement. And it's not. And that's why we're here. It's not a lie. And that's why we're here. And Paul Kessler.
The gentleman will just suspend. Let's have order in the chamber. The gentleman is recognized.
Paul Kessler was killed for holding an Israeli flag in the United States of America. We are losing respect for the sanctity of life, the rule of law, and the important role of faith.
Fired.
We must combat anti-Semitism, and it starts with this censure.
Okay, can we talk about Mike Lawler for a second? That comparison he made between America the Beautiful and the river to the sea chant, that hit hard. One is about unity, freedom, and shared identity. The other is seen by many as something far more controversial. And when it was framed side by side like that, it forced people to really think. When it's called aspirational, do you buy that, or do you think there's more to it? Be honest. And then there's the hospital claim. This is where things get serious. Imagine being privately told by officials that your information might be wrong, getting briefed behind the scenes, and then still going out publicly and repeating the same claim. Why double down? Is it conviction, pressure, or something else? That's a question worth asking. Now let's bring in Marco Rubio. He didn't hold back. His point, if someone is in the U.S. on a visa, there are expectations that come with that. But where do you draw the line between free speech and national interest? That's a debate people feel strongly about on both sides. And what about the protests? You saw the chaos, the interruptions. Some say it shows passion. Others say it shows a breakdown in civil discourse. Which side are you on? Lawler also brought up real-world consequences, reminding everyone that rhetoric doesn't stay online or in speeches. It can spill over into reality, and that's where things get complicated. So let's talk about it. Was the response in Congress enough? Should there have been stronger action, or was it over the line already? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear where you stand on this. And if you're into real, unfiltered breakdowns like this, hit subscribe.